What is going on? Welcome back to the show. Another big win for Seattle. How about that game, guys? The Seattle Seahawks housing the New Orleans Saints wasn't even close. From the minute the game kicked off, it was clear who the better team was. The Seahawks 44, the Saints 13. Seattle scored 38 points in the first half, the most first half points for the Seahawks since 2012 in a game with rookie Russell Wilson. I mean, it was a truly dominant performance for the Seahawks. We're going to talk about it right here on Seahawks Now. But first, if you like what you see, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe down below for more content, and as always, hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another breaking news alert. Yeah, guys, the Seahawks pulling together a huge win on Sunday in a game that they really should have won. I mean, it was facing a winless Saints team that is pretty hopeless this year. The Saints are definitely in the conversation for the number one pick, whether that's going to be Arch Manning or John Mateer or whoever that's going to be. Who knows at this point? It seems like that's kind of up in the air, but yeah, the Saints are in the mix for that. Seattle is not. Seattle should be in the mix for the playoffs. They should be in the mix to win the West. They should be in the mix for a wild card. They're in the mix for a winning season. Nobody's talking about the Seahawks getting the number one pick because we're actually a good football team, and we proved it on Sunday. I mean, if you want to talk about really putting together a dominant performance, that was dominant. And now I think that was indicative of a lot of things. It was indicative of a team that has been waiting for a breakout game like this for a while, and they got it. You know, I also think it's indicative of a team that has been waiting to play really well at home for a while. I mean, if you look at the Seattle Seahawks were 1-7 in their last 8 home games going into yesterday, including obviously the Week 1 loss to San Francisco. This is a team that has not won big in front of their home crowd in a long time, and I think that starts to get to you. You know, when you haven't put together a really great performance in front of your home fans, that starts to get bottled up, and the fans want to see it, and they haven't seen it in a while, and the players want to see it, and they're like, we know we can do it because we've been winning on the road. And we've been winning, in some cases, really been winning big on the road. We beat the Steelers by 14 in Pittsburgh. And we can't win at home? And I think that starts to get to you. And then what happens? You come home against a really bad team, and you just let it all out. You just let it all out on the field, and you dominate. You absolutely dominate in all areas of the game. Offense, defense, everything. I mean, looking at the numbers, it's incredible. The team stats. It's actually, here's what's interesting. Is if you look at the team stats, it doesn't look that bad for the Saints. Total yards, Seattle 320 yards, Saints 284. So we were better, but not by that much. Passing yards, 233 for Sam Darnold. Actually, 218 for Darnold, 15 for Drew Lock, who came in at the end. Spencer Rattler, 218 passing yards. Rushing yards, we had 87. Saints had 79. Yards per play, we had 5.9 yards per play. They are averaging 4.1 for the Saints. So we did a much better job as far as efficiency goes. On first downs, we had 22. They had 21. So actually very similar there. Third down, we were 3 for 9. They were 5 for 15. So we were both exactly 33% on third down. Fourth down efficiency, we never went for it on fourth down. They were 0 for 2 on fourth down. They went for it twice. Including at the very beginning of the game, which was just a weird call, and it gave us the ball back early on, and they probably made a big mistake there. We allowed no sacks, which is huge for our offensive line. And, you could say, well, the Saints don't have a good pass rush. That's true. But also, I think this offensive line, which has been under so much skepticism and criticism over the offseason, to have a game when you don't allow a sack, I think that's huge. They ran 70 total plays. We only ran 54, so 16 fewer plays. They punted 6 times. We punted twice. 8 penalties for us for 70 yards. Saints with 11 penalties for 77 yards. And both teams turned the ball over once. We lost a fumble. They threw an interception. They actually win the time of possession game by 5 minutes. They had 32 minutes of possession. We had 27. The big difference maker, though, was the fact that Torrey Horton comes away with a punt return and a crucial interception from Darion Kendrick that obviously led to a very quick touchdown almost immediately on the following drive. Kenneth Walker had another good game, 38 yards on the ground for 16 carries. So he actually, as far as his average, he only averages 2.4 yards per carry, but he scores 2 touchdowns on the ground. It continues to prove that, he is the guy at running back for us. He's our number 1 running back. Sam Darnold played really well. He was efficient. He didn't have to do very much because his team got the lead very early, but he goes 14 for 18 for 218 yards and 2 touchdowns. No interceptions for Sam Darnold. He was fantastic. George Halani stepping up as the backup running back because Zach Charbonnet was not playing, which we'll get into in a little bit. But George Halani, as your backup running back, he averages 2.7 yards per carry, 10 carries for 27 yards. Didn't look terrible. JSN with a touchdown. He has another good game yardage-wise, 5 receptions for 96 yards and a touchdown. And Torrey Horton, 3 receptions for 32 yards and a touchdown. At the end of the day, it was a dominant win in all the facets of the game. Special teams was fantastic. We also blocked a kick. Special teams was, it was really incredible to get a blocked kick and to get a punt return. You gotta love it. Meanwhile, the defense looked really good. The offense looked really good. There was never a moment where I was like, yikes. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like almost every game you get a couple of yikes moments, and we didn't have any. We didn't have any yesterday. So moving on, normally I would do after a game what went right and a what went wrong. Today, we're just doing what went right, because I don't think there was anything that went wrong. What went right? Everything. To break it down into 3 categories, though, the passing game was incredibly efficient yesterday. I think we saw yesterday exactly the vision on what bringing Sam Darnold to Seattle was supposed to do for us. He was very efficient, only 4 incompletions, 14 for 18. He was accurate. He didn't have to throw too much, but he goes for 218 yards, and he throws 2 touchdowns and doesn't turn the ball over. And that is exactly what you're looking for out of Sam Darnold. He's not going to be a superstar this year. I think we have to understand that. But he's doing what he needs to do, right? And if you look at the passing yards, he's now 11th in the league in passing yards, tied with Jordan Love. And if you look at yards per attempt, among starting quarterbacks, right now he's 3rd in yards per attempt. Only Lamar Jackson and Daniel Jones are averaging more yards per attempt than Sam Darnold right now. If you look at his completion percentage, he's a little bit lower. Right now he is 8th in completion percentage at 70.3%. But again, he's in the top 10. If you look at touchdowns, right now there are 13 guys with more than 4 touchdowns, so he's tied for 14th in touchdowns. And then if you look at passer rating, right now, again, he's in the top 10. You got Lamar at number 1, Jared Goff. I'm not counting backups here, by the way. Lamar, Jared Goff, Daniel Jones, Jordan Love, Josh Allen, Caleb Williams, surprisingly, at number 6, Justin Herbert, and then Sam Darnold at number 8. Right now, number 8 in the league in passer rate. So yeah, he's a top 10 quarterback right now in the league. If you look at passer rating and completion percentage, which I think both really matter, I think the touchdowns over time will catch up. And then if you again, the yards per attempt is crazy. I mean, he's number 3 right now in yards per attempt. So he's doing what you need him to do. He's not blowing you away with his numbers, but he's performing. He's performing, and he's efficient, and he's not making a bunch of mistakes. Just the 2 interceptions compared to the 4 touchdowns. I like what we're seeing out of Sam Darnold. But then you got the receiving game, and this is, again, entirely led by JSN. Jackson Smith-Njigba has been incredible. Only 5 receptions yesterday, but he still goes for almost 100 yards. Right now, through 3 games, 323 receiving yards on 22 receptions, 1 touchdown. He is on pace to score 6 touchdowns and go for over 1,700 receiving yards. In fact, he's on pace for over 1,800 receiving yards. Right now, he is 2nd in the league in yards, only 10 behind Puka Nacua of the Los Angeles Rams. And he is right now 5th in receptions, He trails Christian McCaffrey, Jake Ferguson, Chris Olave, and Puka Nacua in receptions. What's funny is Nacua, who has more yards and 7 more receptions, doesn't have a touchdown, while JSN does have the touchdown to his name. Right now, JSN also 6 receptions of 20 or more yards. That is also tied for the most in the league with Puka Nacua and Tet McMillan of the Panthers. And if you're looking at receptions of 40-plus yards, JSN stands alone. He is the only receiver in the league with 3 40-plus yard receptions. That's incredible. He has lost 2 fumbles, I will say. But I mean, yeah, it's been incredible what JSN has been able to do. As far as yards after catch go, he has 79 yards after catch, which isn't even in the top 25. So it's not that JSN is doing this after the catch. He's just connecting really well with Sam Darnold, and it's great to see. Moving on to my last topic of the day that we got to get going here. Who is Seattle's player of the game in their win versus the Saints? And I could go with JSN. I think that'd be the easy move. But I'm not. I'm going to go with the rookie, Torrey Horton. Torrey Horton had himself a career game in his second game in front of the home crowd in Seattle, his third start of his career. The rookie out of Colorado State, 3 receptions for 32 yards and a touchdown. His first touchdown in Seattle, 10.7 yards per reception, which is good. But that's not why he's player of the game. You guys know why he's player of the game. He goes for a 95-yard punt return, the longest in Seattle Seahawks history. And that punt return really set the tone for the game. At that point, we were up 7-0, and we housed the punt, make it 14-0. And that was just, it really, I think it set the tone, and it struck into the heart of the Saints like, yeah, you guys aren't going to stand a chance today. And Torrey Horton was incredible. He ends up with 3 punt returns total for 114 yards and a touchdown, averaging 38 yards per return. Simply incredible stuff from Torrey Horton. So for that reason, he is my player of the game. But guys, I want to hear your thoughts. Comment down below. Who would you say is player of the game for our Week 3 dominant win over the Saints? We're going to talk some Seahawks the rest of the week, talking about more rumors and the upcoming Thursday night game against the Cardinals. So I hope you guys stay with us throughout the week as we continue to talk Seahawks. As always, we'll be back tomorrow, but until then, go Seahawks.